So I'm reading through the section of Acts right now, around about chapters 10, 11, 12, with some of the adventures of Peter. And a couple of things really sprang out to me, one on quite a personal level, and then the next one on more of a general discipleship observation. The first one was when Peter is up on the roof of his house and he is deep in prayer, and he sees a vision from heaven of this sheet descending from above, and upon the sheet there's all kinds of animals of all shapes and sizes and sorts, and the voice from heaven says, "Arise, Peter, kill and eat." And this instruction by God is to teach Peter that all the divisions that used to separate Jew and Gentile are now gone, and that all have been, in a sense, made clean and are now eligible to hear the gospel and become subjects of the kingdom. But when I read that, it really struck me on another level in my life right now, in a ubiquitous kind of a way, where we are currently as a family endeavouring to set up with some friends a meat business, a fine meat business and abattoir. And so we have to actually get up and kill and eat in order to build our business. And so when I read what Peter's instruction was, what God said from above, I thought, okay, well, maybe we're not too far off the mark, even although the context is different and the meaning is different, but somehow there was an encouragement and a reinforcement in there for me, just considering the circumstances that we now find ourselves in. The second piece, which is a more general discipleship observation, is that all the way through the book of Acts, there are numerous junctions in which the main characters find themselves where they can either move into the challenge or stay where they are. Move into the challenge or avoid it and take an easier road. And we see consistently that the direction and the posture, the character of all of these great apostles is to step into the challenge, is to, I guess, walk into the wind. Even although they could have the wind at their backs at different times, they seem to constantly want to walk into it, because that's, even although that seems to be the tougher path, it's the better path. And as a result of that, they grow, and the church grows, and their faith grows, and prayers are answered, and the world is literally being changed as they move into the ancient empire. So there's a lesson for us today in that one, in that there are so many temptations for us to be static and to, put up the defenses around our comfort and to stay where we are. And I don't always mean geographically, because we can't always be traveling everywhere all the time, or else nobody would ever be home. But what I mean is in the circumstances of our lives, there are often challenges come to us, and to be able to really pray for wisdom and not just instinctively always choose the path that guarantees our peace or secures our comfort or guards our resources, but to put ourselves in a position where we're stretched and where we have to press further and higher. And in that we are changed, in that we are growing, and our faith is growing, and our prayers are growing, and the tapestry, the canvas of our life is enlarged, and as the canvas is enlarged, there is more upon which God can paint His story, His grace, and His generosity, His faithfulness, as we allow the canvas of our lives to increase. And it increases really most noticeably as we step into challenges which we otherwise might find easy to avoid. That doesn't mean we go looking for trouble, and it doesn't mean that every single time we always pick the toughest path. But it does challenge the instinct that we often have to protect what we have and to guard where we are. And that's a defensive posture. And what we see in Acts is that the doors of the temple, as it were, the curtain of the temple is ripped open. The doors are blown open. And it's not so much so that all the Gentiles can come into the temple. It's more that all the glory and the power and the grace of the kingdom that has been identified by the temple and by the old covenant, it now flows out as the great vision of Ezekiel, as the river flows out from the temple and everything that it touches bursts into life. So there's this sending and this going and this multiplying and this tumult, this life, this vivid flourishing that the world experiences as God's people live their lives faithfully in their communities and further afield. So, just some challenges as we read through Acts. Till next time, peace.